You need to hear this today. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not the government, not fate, not luck. The world doesn't owe you anything. You can wish, you can pray, you can hope. But unless you take control, nothing changes. Every second you wait for someone to rescue you, your dreams get further away and your potential goes untapped. You are the hero of your story, and heroes don't wait for someone else to show up. They act. They make decisions when it's uncomfortable. They take responsibility even when excuses scream louder. You have been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect alignment of the stars. But guess what? Perfect never comes. Action is imperfect, messy, and hard. But action moves you forward. Look at your life right now. Are you living by the decisions of others, or are you creating your own path? Every habit, every choice, every thought you have either builds your life or destroys it. And the truth is, it's entirely on you. You can blame the economy, the people around you, your upbringing, your circumstances, but that only keeps you trapped. Freedom, growth, power, they are yours only when you stop waiting and start doing. The moment you realize that nobody is coming to save you, something magical happens. You feel the raw power of your own potential. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. You start setting goals that scare you, breaking patterns that limit you, and pushing boundaries you never imagined you could cross. When you embrace this truth, you stop waiting for validation. You stop relying on others to give you permission to live. You become unstoppable. Ask yourself, what do you want more than anything? Are you sitting back, hoping someone will hand it to you, or are you willing to fight, to sweat, to fail, and to rise again until you claim it? Nothing worth having comes without effort. Comfort kills potential. Waiting kills momentum. Excuses kill dreams, but action is the only thing that saves you from mediocrity, from regret, from the life that you know you're capable of living. So today, make a vow to yourself. Stop waiting, stop hoping, stop blaming. Take responsibility for your life. Own every decision, every mistake, every victory. Step into your power. The world isn't coming to rescue you. And that's the best news you can hear, because now you are your own savior. And when you act, when you rise, when you fight for your life with everything you've got, nothing and no one can stop you. Taking full responsibility for your life is the single most powerful thing you can do, and yet it's one of the hardest truths to accept. Most people spend their entire lives blaming circumstances, other people, society, or even fate for where they are. They say, if only my parents had done this, if only my boss recognized me, if only the economy were better, if only I had a lucky break. The problem is that these if-onlys are illusions. They are traps that keep you small, stuck, and powerless. Every second you spend waiting for someone else to solve your problems, to rescue you from your difficulties, to give you permission to live fully, is a second you lose of your own potential. The world does not owe you anything. No one is coming to save you. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you unlock the energy that comes from knowing that your destiny is in your hands. Taking responsibility is not just about acknowledging that your choices matter. It is about truly embracing the fact that you are the captain of your own ship. Life will throw storms at you. Challenges will arise that seem unfair, unimaginable, and relentless. But when you take responsibility, you stop seeing these storms as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to prove to yourself what you are made of. You begin to understand that the moment you stop blaming and start acting, you gain control. You begin to realize that excuses are like handcuffs that keep you trapped in a cage of mediocrity. The moment you remove those handcuffs is the moment your life changes. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of your future. Responsibility also means being brutally honest with yourself. It means looking at your life and asking, where am I falling short? What am I avoiding? Which habits, behaviors, or thoughts are holding me back? It means confronting your fears, your weaknesses, and your failures without flinching. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's often painful. Most people avoid this level of honesty because it's easier to blame someone else, to cry about what they lack, or to dream about what could be instead of taking action. But you cannot grow in comfort. You cannot evolve in avoidance. You cannot achieve greatness while waiting for someone else to step in and solve your problems. Responsibility demands courage. It demands that you stare life in the face and say, I am in charge and I will take control of my destiny. Another aspect of responsibility is recognizing the power of your decisions. Every thought, every action, every habit creates a ripple that affects your future. The choices you make today determine the results you experience tomorrow. The question is, are your choices intentional, or are they reactions to life? Are you choosing courage, persistence, and discipline, or are you waiting for someone else to pave the path for you? Life does not pause for your readiness, and it does not slow down for your hesitation. Responsibility is realizing that your success, your happiness, your fulfillment is entirely dependent on what you do, starting right now. Taking full responsibility also requires letting go of the victim mentality. The stories you tell yourself about why life is unfair, why opportunities are scarce, or why others are succeeding while you are not, only weaken you. These stories are comforting illusions that give you a sense of safety while secretly keeping you trapped. The truth is that no one will rescue you from your own inaction. Waiting for someone to save you, to validate you, to fix your life, is the quickest path to stagnation. When you embrace responsibility, you step into freedom. You begin to understand that you are the source of your own power, and once you tap into that power, you are unstoppable. Responsibility also means embracing the consequences of your actions. It means understanding that success is not a straight line, that failure is inevitable, and that setbacks are not punishments but lessons. Every choice you make comes with a result, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can learn, adapt, and grow. Waiting for someone else to intervene or wishing for a different outcome only prolongs frustration and disappointment. Taking responsibility transforms your perspective. Problems become challenges to overcome, mistakes become feedback to improve, and obstacles become stepping stones toward mastery. Ultimately, taking full responsibility is about claiming your life fully and unapologetically. It is about refusing to outsource your happiness, your success, and your fulfillment. It is about stepping into the truth that no one is coming to save you and realizing that this truth is liberating. It means owning your choices, your failures, your victories, your life story, and using that ownership as fuel to take massive, consistent action toward your goals. Action over waiting is the defining difference between those who live extraordinary lives and those who drift through existence hoping for luck or circumstance to intervene. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect alignment of everything before they take a step forward. They wait for permission, for a sign, for someone else to show up and tell them they're ready. But here's the reality. Perfection is an illusion and waiting is a trap. Every second you wait, life moves forward without you. Opportunities don't wait. Time doesn't pause. Your dreams don't patiently sit on a shelf while you hesitate. Action is what moves mountains, breaks barriers, and changes destiny. Taking action means understanding that you don't need to have all the answers. You don't need the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or the perfect resources. You only need to start. The moment you step forward, even imperfectly, the universe responds. You begin to see paths that were invisible while you hesitated. You meet people who can guide you. You gain momentum that waiting could never give you. Action creates clarity. Waiting creates doubt. And doubt is the enemy of progress. Every great achievement in history started not with perfect conditions, but with someone deciding to act despite fear, uncertainty, and imperfection. The reason most people fail is not because they lack talent or intelligence. It's because they wait. They wait for conditions that will never exist, for circumstances that will never align perfectly, for a sign that may never come. Waiting is comfortable, but comfort kills potential. Growth, achievement, and transformation are born in discomfort and fueled by action. Action requires courage, determination, and persistence. It requires taking risks, making mistakes, and learning along the way. Every step forward, even when it's hard, even when it's uncertain, builds strength and confidence. Waiting, on the other hand, builds regret and frustration. Action over waiting also demands consistency. One leap forward is not enough. One brave decision does not define your destiny. True progress is made through repeated, deliberate action, taken every single day. You must train yourself to act despite fear, act despite doubt, act even when motivation is low. Action becomes a habit, and habits create results. When you make action your default state, you stop being reactive and start being proactive. You start shaping your life rather than reacting to the life that happens to you. Another aspect of embracing action is understanding the power of momentum. Every action you take compounds. One small step leads to another. One decision to push forward, one refusal to settle. One moment of courage creates a ripple that can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Waiting, in contrast, produces nothing but stagnation. It is a silent thief that steals time, energy, and opportunities. Momentum is the fuel of success, and it only comes through movement, through doing, through taking action when others are still hesitating. Action also eliminates fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty and inaction. The more you wait, the bigger the problem seems. The longer you hesitate, the more your mind invents reasons not to move. Action exposes fear for what it is, a signal, not a barrier. Every time you act, every time you step into the discomfort of the unknown, fear loses its grip. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward in spite of it. Action transforms fear into power, hesitation into momentum, and potential into results. Taking action over waiting is ultimately about reclaiming control of your life. It's about refusing to outsource your destiny to luck, circumstances, or the approval of others. It's about recognizing that you are responsible for your success, and that waiting is a surrender to mediocrity. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Action turns intention into results. Action is the force that separates those who watch life pass by from those who make life happen. When you commit to action, you begin to see possibilities everywhere. Doors open that were previously invisible. Challenges become opportunities. Obstacles become training grounds. Action creates clarity, momentum, confidence, and power. Every moment you act moves you closer to the life you desire, while every moment you wait moves you further away. The truth is that waiting accomplishes nothing. Action transforms everything. It is the fuel of transformation, the heartbeat of progress, and the lifeblood of a life fully lived. Stop seeking permission, because the world is not going to hand it to you. The moment you rely on someone else's approval, validation, or recognition to move forward, you give your power away. You give someone else control over your destiny. Most people live their lives waiting for a green light, a nod of approval, or a moment when someone says, "You're ready." But here's the truth. No one is coming to authorize your greatness. No one is coming to unlock the doors that lead to your dreams. If you wait for permission, you will wait forever. Your life will remain small, limited, and constrained by other people's expectations and fears. Seeking permission is an illusion of safety. It feels comfortable to have someone else approve your path because it relieves you of responsibility. You can say, "I'm only doing this because someone else told me it's okay," or "I wouldn't be successful if it weren't for their guidance." But the moment you depend on that, you hand over the very thing that makes you unstoppable, your own power to act. The most successful, most fulfilled, most extraordinary people do not wait for anyone's approval. They create their own rules, define their own paths, and set their own standards. Permission is not required for greatness. Action and courage are. When you stop seeking permission, you begin to live authentically. You start asking yourself the important questions. What do I want? What am I willing to fight for? What would I do if no one was watching? And then you act. You step into your own power and start taking bold steps toward your goals. You no longer look to others for validation because you have become your own source of approval. The freedom that comes from this mindset is transformative. You are no longer limited by the fears, judgments, or doubts of others. You are free to pursue your purpose, your passion, and your potential without hesitation. One of the most important lessons in stopping the search for permission is understanding that fear and doubt are always present. Fear will whisper, "You shouldn't do this, it's risky," and doubt will say, "Are you sure you can handle it?" But these voices are only obstacles when you listen to them instead of moving forward. The truth is that every person who achieved greatness faced fear and doubt. Every trailblazer, every innovator, every champion had to act without asking permission, without waiting for approval, and without letting fear control their decisions. Courage is born when you step forward in spite of uncertainty, and momentum is created when you act decisively in the absence of guarantees. Seeking permission also limits your potential because it forces you to conform. When you wait for someone else to approve your choices, you shape your life around their expectations rather than your own vision. You adjust your dreams to fit their comfort zones. You compromise your standards to gain acceptance. And you dilute your power to avoid conflict or criticism. But the people who change the world, the ones who achieve extraordinary results, do not conform. They are relentless in pursuing what they know is possible, even if no one else believes in them. They are willing to stand alone, to challenge the status quo, and to take risks that others refuse to take. The moment you decide to stop seeking permission, you claim ownership of your life. You take full responsibility for every choice, every success, and every failure. You begin to understand that your life is your creation, and you do not need anyone else to validate it. The only permission you need is your own. And when you give yourself permission to pursue your goals relentlessly, to act boldly, and to embrace your power, you become unstoppable. Every action you take builds confidence, momentum, and mastery, and every step forward reinforces the truth that your life is yours to create. When you stop waiting for validation, the world begins to open up in ways you never imagined. Opportunities appear because you are moving, creating, and taking action. People are drawn to your courage and determination. Challenges become training grounds for growth, and setbacks become lessons that strengthen your resolve. Life rewards those who act decisively, boldly, and without seeking permission, because action always generates results. Waiting for a green light, a nod of approval, or external validation only delays your destiny and diminishes your potential. Embrace discomfort because growth never happens in comfort zones. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, "Stay here, it's safe, don't risk it." And most people listen. They spend their lives avoiding anything that feels hard, inconvenient, or uncertain. But the truth is that nothing worthwhile comes without challenge. Nothing extraordinary is achieved by playing it safe. Every time you feel resistance, every time fear and doubt rise up, every time the world seems to push back, it is an invitation to grow. Discomfort is the signal that you are on the edge of your potential, and choosing to lean into it is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. Growth requires pushing through fear because fear and discomfort are closely linked. When you step out of your comfort zone, your body and mind resist. You feel uncertainty, tension, and sometimes even panic. This is normal. This is necessary. Fear is not your enemy. In fact, it is your compass pointing directly toward the areas where growth is waiting. When you stop avoiding fear and instead take action in spite of it, you train yourself to expand what is possible. You begin to build resilience, courage, and strength. Each time you face discomfort and move forward anyway, you increase your capacity for success and for life. Discomfort also teaches discipline. Growth is rarely instantaneous. It is often messy, repetitive, and slow. It requires showing up consistently, even when motivation is low, even when results aren't immediate, and even when it would be easier to quit. Life rewards those who endure, those who persist, those who are willing to face the hard moments that others avoid. Each challenge you encounter is a chance to develop your skill, your patience, and your tenacity. When you embrace discomfort, you no longer shy away from difficult tasks. You no longer fear failure, and you no longer allow excuses to dictate your actions. Instead, you train yourself to see discomfort as a stepping stone, as a teacher, and as a gateway to excellence. Another powerful aspect of embracing discomfort is learning to confront the unknown. The future is unpredictable. Life rarely goes exactly as planned. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable. If you constantly seek comfort, you will be paralyzed when life deviates from expectation. But when you learn to lean into discomfort, you become adaptable, resilient, and fearless. You develop the ability to respond to change with confidence rather than panic. You cultivate a mindset that sees every obstacle as an opportunity, every difficulty as a lesson, and every uncertainty as a chance to grow stronger. Discomfort is also the birthplace of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Every time you push past your limits, take a risk, or tackle a challenge that scares you, you build confidence and reinforce the belief in your own power. The people who accomplish the extraordinary are not fearless. They feel fear, doubt, and discomfort just like everyone else. What makes them different is that they do not let these feelings control their actions. They act decisively, boldly, and consistently, even when it's uncomfortable. Each act of courage compounds, building momentum that propels them toward their goals. To truly embrace discomfort, you must also reframe it as a positive force. Stop seeing hard moments as obstacles or punishments. Start seeing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and expand your potential. Discomfort is not something to avoid. It is the signal that you are stretching, evolving, and becoming stronger. The challenges you face today, the struggles you endure, and the risks you take are all investments in your future. They are the proof that you are moving beyond limitations and stepping into the life you are capable of living. Embracing discomfort transforms your mindset, your actions, and your results. You become unstoppable because you are no longer held back by fear, uncertainty, or hesitation. You develop resilience that allows you to persist when others quit, courage that allows you to act when others hesitate, and strength that allows you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Discomfort becomes a tool, a teacher, and a guide that shows you where your potential lies. Every time you step into it, every time you push through the hard moments, every time you refuse to shrink in the face of challenge, you grow, you evolve, and you move closer to the extraordinary life that is waiting for you. Be your own hero, because no one else will fight for your life with same intensity, courage, and commitment that you can. Most people spend their lives looking outward, hoping someone will rescue them from their struggles, guide them through challenges, or hand them the life they dream of. But waiting for someone else to be your hero is a trap. It keeps you dependent, powerless, and limited. The truth is that the only person who can truly save you is you. The moment you accept this, you step into your power, take control of your destiny, and unlock potential you never knew existed. Being your own hero begins with responsibility. Heroes do not wait for someone else to make decisions for them. They own their choices, their mistakes, and their successes. They understand that every action they take has consequences, and they accept both the rewards and the setbacks that come with their decisions. This kind of ownership is liberating because it removes the need for permission, validation, or approval. When you take responsibility for your life, you reclaim control, and you stop giving your power away to others. The realization that no one is coming to save you is not frightening. It is empowering. It is the fuel that drives action, growth, and achievement. Being your own hero also means courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Every hero faces fear, doubt, and uncertainty, but the difference is that they do not let it stop them. They move forward anyway, take risks, and push past the limits that others accept as boundaries. Being your own hero requires that same mindset. You must act decisively, even when it is uncomfortable, even when failure seems likely, and even when no one else believes in you. Courage builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. Each step you take in the face of fear strengthens your ability to tackle even greater challenges. Another essential quality of being your own hero is persistence. Life will test you repeatedly. Obstacles will appear, failures will happen, and people may doubt you or even try to hold you back. Heroes do not quit when the going gets tough. They keep moving, keep fighting, and keep striving toward their vision. Every setback becomes a lesson, every challenge becomes a stepping stone, and every failure becomes an opportunity to rise stronger. Persistence is the bridge between dreams and reality, and being your own hero requires the discipline to keep going when others give up. Being your own hero also involves self-belief. You must trust in your abilities, your vision, and your power to create change. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is a deep knowing that you are capable of more than circumstances, doubts, or fear would suggest. This belief fuels action, inspires resilience, and allows you to take bold steps that most people avoid. When you cultivate unshakable self-belief, you become unstoppable because no external force can derail your commitment to your own growth, success, and fulfillment. Being your own hero requires vision and purpose. Heroes do not drift aimlessly. They have a mission, a reason to fight, and a goal worth pursuing. You must define what success means to you, what legacy you want to leave, and what life you refuse to settle for. Vision gives direction to action, clarity to decision making, and motivation when the journey feels overwhelming. Purpose transforms effort into energy, struggle into growth, and obstacles into opportunities. The more clearly you see the life you want, the more powerfully you can act to create it. Ultimately, being your own hero is about taking ownership of your life in every sense. It is about refusing to wait for someone else to fix your problems, rescue you from challenges, or validate your worth. It is about stepping into the truth that you have everything you need within you to overcome adversity, create success, and live with passion. When you become your own hero, fear no longer dictates your actions, doubt no longer controls your choices, and limitation no longer defines your potential. Every decision, every action, and every moment becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself what you are capable of achieving. Being your own hero is a lifelong practice. It is a mindset, a commitment, and a responsibility. It means taking charge of your destiny, acting with courage, persevering through challenges, believing in yourself, and living with purpose. It means rising above excuses, fear, and dependence, and stepping into the full power of who you are. When you embrace this, you no longer wait for anyone else to save you. You become unstoppable because the greatest hero you will ever know, the one who can truly change your life, is you.